Welcome to YLC, the Young Leaders Committee that promotes and grows youth leadership that ensures the future leaders lead from today by educating and inspiring them to soar higher and higher.
Welcome to YLC, the Young Leaders Committee, the platform that educates, enlightens, inspires, and works young people into leadership from their youth. Young people, your leadership era has started. You don't need to wait for tomorrow. In this series, we said earlier on, boardroom is taken as synonymous to board. It's the board considered with respect to its processes and activities when in session. Our focus is more on the team of people that has been assembled for a purpose than where they meet. This doesn't mean that where they meet isn't important. It is, but it is the board that determines the state and the size of the literal boardroom. So we're talking about a literal boardroom, and we're talking about boardroom in terms of board that is in session. There are three main categories of board members. We have the chair, that's the chairperson. We have internal members, those who are generally paid workers. And then we have external members, those who are not staff, who represent some outside interests. The outside interests very often relate to the shareholders, investors, general economy, and others. Boards reflect the nature of the organization they represent. Boards reflect the nature of the organization that they represent. Generally, every publicly traded company is legally required to install a board of directors, which acts as a fiduciary for shareholders. There are other forms of organizations that have boards or their equivalents. What matters most is having a body of leaders who have at heart the interests of the organization and those of critical stakeholders. Board members meet to discuss pressing issues that face an organization and decide how to handle them, thus fulfilling their role as fiduciary on behalf of shareholders or owners of the organization. By whatever name this body of top leaders is called, the issues that fall under their purview include the hiring and firing of senior staff, executive compensation, and dividend and options policies. They are also responsible for setting broad goals, we said that earlier, supporting executive duties, and ensuring the organization has adequate, well-managed resources at its disposal. The major decisions of an organization are made in board meetings. They affect everyone, from employees to investors that own the shares and potentially even the greater economy. In this video, our primary focus is understanding boardroom politics. We refer to it in session 1 of this episode. We're going to look at it briefly. Politics is a very familiar word. However, we need to observe that we are not talking about party politics. Nevertheless, party politics influences boardroom operations, boardroom attitudes, and boardroom relationships. It might be near impossible to have an apolitical board that is publicly quoted. The appointment into boards itself has political coloration or undertone most times. They are usually political. Boards usually represent different interests depending on the nature of the organization and its ownership. A blogger has this to say. He says, all too often, politics and political struggles emerge in the boardroom with the consequence of derailing progress and strategic priorities. He therefore counseled, leaders must therefore recognize the signs of unhealthy dynamics and take action to build a cohesive, high-functioning team at the top. In our context, politics refers to the subtle and complex interplay of personal interests, alliances, and maneuvering for influence that occurs behind closed doors. It involves jockeying for positions, forming alliances, and leveraging relationships to shape decision-making processes and outcomes. Boardroom politics manifests in various ways, ranging from overt power grabs to subtle manipulations behind the scenes. It's basically about power dynamics, wealth acquisition, and the general good versus personal agenda. Sometimes cliques are formed, and members are directly or indirectly made to go in a predetermined direction. This could be done by lobbying, by bargaining, horse trading, personal connections and influence to gain an advantage, or some other means of achieving goals that are not commonly desired. These dynamics occasionally inflict serious damage on organizational performance over the long run. But when boards get governance right, companies prosper. When they don't get it right, organizations suffer. There's therefore the need for strong, principled, courageous, objective, and astute leadership with a commitment to transparency and accountability and a shared vision of success. This tells us that the boardroom can become a place where good politics and good governance meet. Though boardroom politics can sometimes be dirty and messy, boards are needed. They are a vital part of an organization that defines the path to follow, gives direction, and provides the needed structures for good outcomes. What must needs be done then is to provide effective decision-making and navigating power dynamics in the boardroom with strong governance practices adopted. While some people consider a largely homogeneous body for faster decision-making, others believe that an heterogeneous assembly of people will contribute more to success, though their diversity could really increase boardroom politics and politicking. There are solutions to grappling with these challenges. We hope to discuss some of these in future sessions or at our webinar. So keep in touch with us. Thank you for watching. This is Young Leaders Committee, a mentoring group for the growth and stability of young leaders and prospective leaders. It promises potentials and opportunities for encountering all classes of young people and turning them around for excellence. Registration has commenced. The earlier you get registered, the brighter your chances. You can use the link on the screen or visit our website www.gedamconsult.com to register. It's free. We'll be glad to see you at the next session.